Have you ever experienced something so incredible, so miraculous, that you didn't even have the words to explain it? You knew it was a gift, a profound blessing, but sharing it felt premature. It was like a precious, fragile seed that needed to be protected and nurtured in the quiet of your own heart before it was ready to be shown to the world. If you've ever felt this way, you're in good company. In fact, you share this experience with one of the most remarkable figures in history, Mary, the mother of Jesus. The Bible gives us this beautiful yet easily overlooked detail in the Gospel of Luke. After the shepherds, startled by an angelic announcement, rush to Bethlehem to see the newborn Messiah, they find everything just as the angel had told them. They are overjoyed, and they don't keep it to themselves. They go out and tell everyone they can about this amazing thing that has happened. The whole town is buzzing, astonished by the shepherd's story. But in the middle of all this excitement and commotion, we read this simple, powerful verse. But Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. Isn't that fascinating? Mary, the one at the very center of this divine event, isn't the one shouting from the rooftops. She's not holding a press conference. She's quiet. She's reflective. She's treasuring these moments. The word treasured suggests she's holding them as something precious, valuable, and deeply personal. And she pondered them, which means she was turning them over and over in her mind, trying to understand their full significance. This single verse teaches us a profound lesson about faith and how we process the movements of God in our lives. It shows us that not every miracle needs to be immediately broadcast. Some things are so sacred, so deeply personal, that they need a season of quiet reflection. They need to be held close, protected from the noise and opinions of the world, while we allow their meaning to sink into our souls. Think about it. Mary had just been through an overwhelming series of events. An angel appeared to her with a life-altering message. She faced potential shame and misunderstanding. She traveled a long journey while heavily pregnant, only to give birth in the humblest of settings. And now strangers are showing up talking about choirs of angels and a savior. It was a lot to take in. Instead of reacting with frantic energy, she responded with quiet contemplation. Mary's pondering heart gives us permission to do the same. In our culture of instant updates and sharing every detail of our lives, her example is countercultural and incredibly wise. There's a pressure to have it all figured out, to have a neat and tidy testimony ready to share the moment something good happens. We feel we need to explain the why and the how of God's blessings right away. But Mary shows us that it's okay not to have all the answers. It's okay to sit with the mystery. Sometimes God gives us a blessing, a promise, or a miracle that we don't fully understand yet. It might be a new opportunity, a restored relationship, or a quiet prompting in our spirit, and our first instinct might be to tell everyone. But maybe, just maybe, the first step isn't proclamation, but pondering. Maybe we need to treasure it first, to let it marinate in our hearts, to ask God what it means, and to allow our faith to deepen in the quiet space of reflection. This act of pondering is not a passive one. It's an active engagement with God. It's where we connect the dots between His promises and our reality. It's where we wrestle with our doubts and questions in His presence. It's where the seeds of a miracle grow roots deep within our spirit, making them unshakable. When we share a testimony too soon before we've truly absorbed its weight and meaning, it can sometimes feel shallow. But when we share from a heart that has pondered, that has treasured the work of God, our words carry a different kind of weight, a different kind of power. Pondering is especially crucial during confusing seasons of life. Let's be honest, the journey of faith is not always clear. There are times when God's plan seems confusing and circumstances don't make sense. We might be in a waiting period or facing a challenge that tests everything we believe. In these moments, it's easy to get discouraged or to listen to the voices of doubt, both internal and external. This is where Mary's example becomes our lifeline. She treasured all these things, not just the joyful parts, but all of it. The confusion, the uncertainty, the overwhelming nature of it all. By pondering, she was strengthening her faith for the road ahead. She had no idea of the joys and immense sorrows that awaited her. She didn't know about the cross. But in that quiet stable, her act of pondering was building a foundation of faith that would sustain her through everything. When we choose to ponder instead of panic, we are building our own spiritual resilience. We are telling God, I trust you, even when I don't understand. I will hold on to what you've done and what you've said, and I will meditate on it until my faith grows stronger than my fear. Reflecting on God's past faithfulness, the miracles we've seen, the prayers He's answered becomes our anchor in present storms. It reminds us that the God who showed up then is the same God who is with us now. So, what does this look like for us today? Maybe it means not immediately posting about that new job offer. Maybe it means taking some time to pray and reflect before you announce a new relationship or a major life decision. Maybe it's about keeping a journal, writing down the small, everyday miracles, and pondering them before you sleep. It's about creating intentional space for quiet in a noisy world. It's about giving yourself grace. The grace to not have it all figured out. The grace to be in process. The grace to let a blessing be just for you and God for a little while. He knows your heart, and He loves to meet you in that quiet, pondering space. It's where intimacy with Him is built. It's where shallow belief transforms into deep, abiding faith. Like Mary, let's learn to treasure the works of God in our lives. Let's not be afraid of the quiet moments of reflection. They are not empty. They are full of potential. They are the sacred ground where God nourishes our souls and prepares us for what's next. Let's cultivate a pondering heart, one that finds strength in stillness and wisdom in waiting. Because some of God's greatest works in us are not meant for the world as stage right away, but for the quiet sacred theater of our own hearts. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this reflection on Mary's pondering heart encourages you. If it did, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more content like this. We'd love to have you as part of our community. God bless, and see you next time.